I wonder your take on at least this report and the possibility of another fresh antitrust run at one or both of these huge tech giants. Is this hinging on the possibility of moving more toward a European model of antitrust versus simply paying attention to consumer harm?
It's way too early to tell. You know, we have these unconfirmed reports that the FTC is cleared to look at Amazon behavior, and that that DOJ is cleared to look at Google. But what they're going to look at, how long it's going to take to look at it, what they might find, and whether they would go to court and whether they would prevail in court means we're in for the long haul here. And while everybody wants to know today where this is going to head, it's way too early to know.
Are there any new facts that you see, new issues looming on the horizon? Because we've had complaints about the market power of these names for a decade now, it feels like, and yet it doesn't seem like those complaints have gotten anywhere. Any reason that you see that things would be different now?
I don't know. Obviously, there's been a lot of public talk about these dominant platforms and whether they're problematic or not. And it wouldn't be a surprise that either or both agencies would want to take a look at it. One of the things that I found being in this business, antitrust, for a long time, is that the investigations tend to be pretty nonpartisan. People are looking for facts, trying to understand the law, and they don't prejudge the outcome of investigations. The antitrust agencies are pretty serious and sober about their work.
Bill, how do those jurisdictions play out in terms of which antitrust agency oversees or potentially investigates which company?
That's a great question, because under the law, in civil matters, non-criminal matters, DOJ and FTC share jurisdiction. And so when there is an interest on the part of one or both agencies to look at a company, they have what they call a clearance process to sort out in advance who's going to look at what. That makes sure that the public doesn't bear the cost and the companies don't bear the cost of overlapping or duplicating investigations. If these reports are true, the agencies met and decided, you know, we both have an interest in looking at these platforms, and DOJ will have the clearance to look at conduct by Google, and Amazon will be looked at by the FTC. It's not unusual. In fact, it's routine to sort this out. This one just has a lot of visibility associated with it.
Give us a sense then as to what people can expect in terms of an investigation commencing and what we should be looking for here. How long typically is an investigation? I know that probably is difficult to say, but and what's the likelihood that a said investigation leads to actual action on the part of either one of these agencies?
Well, the timeline is dependent on the facts and how much they need to look at. Here, and also on the law, you know, there's this question about if a firm is successful in its market. Antitrust law says you can't penalize success. You can penalize bad behavior. For example, you know, you're free to climb to the top of the ladder, but if there are credible allegations you've greased the ladder so no one can get up after you, that's problematic. So this will take a long time. It will mostly go on out of the public eye, which is the right thing to do. They'll talk to the companies and examine documents and take depositions. They'll talk to third parties who have concerns. They'll do a lot of legal research. Economists will be involved. And it will take quite a while, I assume, for this to get to a decision point. And there's no guarantee that there will be. Who makes a decision?
Right,
Go ahead.
Who makes that final decision? I mean, you've held both of these offices, both at the DOJ and at the FTC, in terms of antitrust. Is it going to be that person in either job?
Yeah, at the DOJ, it would be my successor, Makan Delrahim.
Makan Delrahim right now.
Right. And at the FTC, it's a commission with 5 commissioners, and they will have an opportunity to decide whether or not to go to court. Again, the important thing is you have to go to court. We're not regulatory agencies here in the United States. the two agencies are law enforcement agencies, which means at the end of the day, their proof can be put to the test in a courtroom.
Bill, you were head of the Justice Department's antitrust division 6 years ago when Apple was found to have colluded in trying to fix e-book prices. And I wonder if you think the big tech companies like Apple have gotten more or just the same level of sophistication when it comes to kind of dealing with their size and litigating these matters.
Well, I think any big company is smart to have a good internal team of antitrust counselors and a good external team. I have no insight into the lawyers who these two firms might employ in these matters, but they will have competent representation, which they should. Third parties who are potentially concerned about behavior by a successful platform will also have lawyers who will help them develop a presentation for the agencies about what those concerns are and how factually rich, how factually supported they can be.